Hello, my little pumpkins. It's Halloween month. Who's excited? I am! I love autumn. It's Halloween, it's crunchy leaves under your feet, it's time for boots and plaid skirts and berry lips. It's just very exciting. Oh, and the candle scents. The candle scents are just magical. So since we're in Halloween month, I decided I would make this video about some creepy things that have been happening recently. A few little creepy, weird things have been happening. And, you know, nothing major, nothing flying around the ceiling, no poltergeists or anything, but I feel a little bit unnerved. I want to start this video by saying that I am not into the whole ghost thing. Like, on the one hand, I am super scared of anything just semi-creepy. I am such a massive baby. I can't watch horror films or anything. But on the other hand, I do try and be very rational, and I always say, there's no such thing as ghosts, there's no such thing as haunted houses, like, it can't be real. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I have started to feel quite creeped out by just little things that have been happening in my house recently. And they're just little things, but when they're coming one after another, starting to kind of scare me a little bit. I don't live in a particularly creepy house. I don't know how old it is off the top of my head, but it's not like Victorian or anything. It's just a bog standard, semi-detached, teeny tiny, poorly built house in the middle of South Wales, you know? It's not like I live in the Amityville house or anything like that. When we first moved in, this wasn't my bedroom. My bedroom was in the box room on the other side of the house, and then I just kind of kept all of my toys and stuff in here. This was like a playroom, and literally in my bedroom I just had like a bed and a really little like shelving unit to keep clothes on, because that room is so small. It's too small for any other furniture. Like, if you think this is small, that is like a crypt, essentially. Most of the space in that room is taken up with this big, awkward, ugly looking cupboard where like the boiler is. When I was little, I never really kept any of my stuff in that cupboard. I didn't like that cupboard. I don't know why. Just as a child, that cupboard gave me some bad feelings. There were a lot of times when I would like get home from school or something and go upstairs and open my door, and the cupboard's right here next to the door, and the door of the cupboard would just be open. The kind of door that we have on that cupboard has one of those push down handles, but essentially when you close the cupboard and you push the handle back up, it locks into place. It's not like, you know, that it should really open by itself. You know, you'd have to push the handle down to open a cupboard like that, is what I'm saying. And yet, I remember a lot of times coming home and going in my room and the cupboard door would be wide open. But then I moved out of that room into this room, and to be honest, for a good few years, nobody's even used that room. It's essentially just been like a giant junk cupboard where everything goes that you don't want to deal with, and nobody's been in there. But recently my parents redecorated it. It looks very nice, very fancy, and I decided to stick my printer in there so I could do my uni work in there and stuff. So one day a couple of weeks ago, I'd been like in and out of that room printing stuff, so I'd left the door open, and as I was going past, I like saw out of the corner of my eye the creepy cupboard door just like opened by itself. And I was like, okay, it's fine. That was creepy when I was little, but now I'm a grown-up and, you know, there's a logical explanation, I'm sure. All the same, I was not brave enough to go in there and shut the cupboard door. I just like went downstairs and pretended it never happened. And a few nights after that, I was asleep in bed and I woke up in the middle of the night and kind of like turned onto my side to get back to sleep. And all of a sudden there was this really loud thud. It sounded just as if one of my wardrobe doors had been slammed shut, except I never sleep with my wardrobe doors open, and also, why would they have slammed shut in the middle of the night on their own? So that was kind of creepy, but I just thought to myself, you know, don't think about that, we're gonna pretend that never happened and just go back to sleep, la la la. A couple of nights later, same thing, I woke up in the middle of the night. That's not unusual for me, I wake up a lot in the night, and I heard this sound, and it sounded like as if papers were sliding off my dressing table. You know how when something slides off, you kind of get like the slow sound of it sliding and then suddenly it gets a bit faster and you hear the bang. So I kind of assumed that I just left something out on the dressing table and that, you know, they'd just fallen because that's how gravity works. But when I woke up the next day, all my files and paperwork was still on the dressing table and nothing was on the floor, nothing had fallen. And then a couple of nights after that, you guessed it, I woke up in the middle of the night and tried to get back to sleep, and there was this really loud bang. It kind of sounded as if like maybe a really heavy book had fallen from one of the shelves, or maybe if someone had like slammed a door or something. It was loud, and I was convinced that maybe it would have woken up my parents as well, which it didn't because they'll sleep through. I've literally known my dad to sleep through an earthquake. Literally. So no sign of them waking up, and part of me almost wanted to be like, Dad, help, because I was kind of freaked out by this point. You know, first time I thought, hey, maybe I imagined it. Second time I thought, well, hey, maybe that was just gravity. And then, but the third time I was not happy about that. But I haven't had any creepy noises in the night for about 5 days now, so hopefully that has stopped, because I am so over that as a thing that I have to go through in the night. I don't like that. But I've started to get these like really horrific feelings of just sheer terror sometimes. Like right now, even though I'm talking about creepy things, I feel fine. But sometimes, like any time throughout the day, morning, evening, whatever, I will just get like cold all over and feel like someone is watching me. And it is the most horrific feeling. It is just sheer terror. And I don't know, that could just be because I'm kind of on edge because of the whole banging and slamming during the night, and maybe that's just like, what the hell was that? I didn't enjoy that at all. No, but maybe that's just like a psychological reaction to the fact that I've been a little bit scared recently and my brain is maybe going, oh my gosh. So I'm not reading too much into that. But last night I had a little bit of a drama because I was sitting here, I had my mirror right here, and I had pushed my chair back away from the dressing table, and I was sat just like this with my feet up, and I was filing my nails. And I started to get the creepy feeling, and I just thought to myself, it's fine, you're okay, keep on filing. This is kind of hard to describe, but all of my like curlers and straighteners and hairdryer are all up here on my dressing table. But the plug, I have like one of those plug adapters where you plug them all in, like down underneath the dressing table on the floor. So all the wires come from their various places down behind the dressing table, and then they just plug in on the floor. Like, it's messy, but hey, what are you gonna do? So I was sat here filing my nails, and I heard this noise which I assumed was like someone in the bathroom or something, but then I realized that it was coming from under the dressing table. So I looked, and one of the wires that was hanging down was moving, and I kind of thought, well, maybe that's, again, gravity, our old friend. But then a couple of seconds later, it moved again, and like quite violently, not as if it was kind of just like settling into the groove of wires. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it moved like violently down. And I thought, it's a little bit stranger. And then another one started to move, and the two of them were both moving, but they weren't moving down. They were moving kind of like around each other, like this kind of thing. Like they were dancing, but in a really quite scary way. So I just sat here and I watched, really scared. And then I ended up calling my mom in. I was like, hey, can you come deal with these creepy plugs, please? And when she came, they just stopped. It just stopped. Whatever it was, it just didn't happen again. She sat on my bed for ages with me because she could tell that I was freaking out, and she was just staring, waiting for these magic plugs to start dancing again, which they never did. Because I mean, the setup back there is very messy, so her thought was kind of like if it got caught on something and then you moved something and it suddenly could move again. I don't know. But I couldn't like get across to her like, no, it wasn't moving down, they were moving around, which was the creepy part. But hey, still, that could still totally be described by something logical and not creepy, right? Right? So yeah, I mean, it's nothing Ghostbusters worthy, but it has been creeping me out recently. And it's all been since we did out that spare room and everyone's been using that again with the creepy cupboard and stuff, so I don't know. So I thought, since it's Halloween month, let's make a video about it because, you know, it's a little bit creepy, right? I'm probably overreacting. It's fine. What's the creepiest thing that's happened to you guys? Have any of you guys had any weird spooky goings on in your house? Do you have like a big Amityville type house? How are you not afraid to sleep at night if you do? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys enjoy this video? If you did, then please go ahead and give it a thumbs up to let me know, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you guys so much. You are my oddballs and I love you. Mwah. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye! Okay, it could just be like if I've put the straighteners, and when she came, they... Oh my gosh, I got just to apple. Bye.